Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is an end of the month for February Tarot Oracle reading, and Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Aquarius, we still all have a little bit of Aquarius in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in, that's where this energy will show up for you. My goal is to provide you with valuable information to empower you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is a general collective reading. Also, if this is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, it may empower you now. All right, so the Nine of Swords is coming in. The Nine of Swords represents several things, but the main theme of this is it can represent a never-ending nightmare. And it's just when you wake up in the middle of the night and it's the same old dream, and it's kind of that energy. It also can represent like crushing boredom. So Groundhog's Day kind of energy. The thing is, what a lot of people don't realize is there's really no such thing as Groundhog's Day. You know, when you have the same exact thing happen over and over again. When I was going to school, they taught the sun's in the middle and all the planets go exactly like this around, and I've noticed they're still teaching it that way, and that would imply that you're in a groove of like a record, and you're not. What's happening is the universe is moving like this. It's spinning, it's spiraling, it's moving all the time. As we're sitting here, if you're sitting in a chair and watching this, you're actually moving, but you just can't tell you are. So if it brings you any comfort, if you're bored, it's not the same old exact energy every day, because you're never in exactly the same place that you used to be. The entire universe has moved, and you're traveling at a very high speed. You're just not aware of it. So that energy was coming in from February 2nd. So this card has been in the readings quite a bit. It's also it can talk about enlightenment that you receive in the wee hours of the morning, usually between 2 and 4 in the morning. That's when Holy Spirit hits, or you have a real, a dream that seems very real, and there might be information in that dream to empower you. So this is the underlying energy for the entire reading. Now I'm going to take from the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck for the internal forces. So the internal forces will be in the bottom of this spread here. And so the internal forces, we have the Strength card, which is all about having courage to face your fears. This young woman's reaching into this lion's mouth, and that would be a very dangerous thing to do, but this lion is submissive, and it's a male lion, and he's got his tail tucked under. He's allowing it because he can sense she is proving to herself that she can face her fears, and he believes her. And she's got the infinity symbol above her head, which represents infinite possibilities to the power of infinity and beyond. And then for the first card now for the internal forces, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords has been coming up a lot lately. This energy, the pages, they would work for the king and queen when they were younger, usually around the age of 7 to 14, and they would come from the higher society families in the surrounding area, or sometimes even distant relatives of the king and queen, and they would deliver messages and perform small tasks around the palace. And then when they grew up, when they were 21, if they were still working and doing a good job, they might be considered for knighthood, as long as they could afford a horse. So this, each of the pages has an element, and this page's element is the sword. And so the sword represents air or thought. And so this is representing your mental intelligence, your thoughts, your verbalization of thoughts, your words, written word, as well as your discipline of your mind. And this page always reminds me of someone who's about to take a swing on the golf course. It's like golf is a very mental sport, and that's kind of what this energy is about, the sword energy. If you have a really bad first hole and you're out in the course, you could spiral and go out of control because your mind is, oh, I suck, da da da, like, you know, just keep on like really going in a downward spiral. Or you could discipline your mind and say, well, the next hole is definitely going to be better, and get a hole in one. So it's kind of that energy of the discipline of the mind gives you freedom to move forward. And of all the cards of the pages, this is the only one where he's not totally focused on his element. He's actually looking away from it, because this is talking about someone who thinks outside the box. So innovative thinking. And there's some sort of communication coming in. That's what this card represents generally. It could just be, it's like a breath of fresh air, a fresh thought, something that, hey, aha, I have a wonderful idea and now I want to bring it into being. And so this energy is talking about, it also could be if the communication comes in the old days it would always be in person, and it's more likely now to be a phone call, a text message, you know, maybe it could be like what did I say, a phone call, a text message, email. There, I got it out, sorry. An email, or it could be like a post on social media, messaging there. You might see an event posted and be inclined to go to it, and then meet someone, you know, that really empowers you to, or gives you a really good idea. That kind of energy can also be the news. So, you know, look at all different ways of the communication coming in. And then we have this energy of the discipline of the mind that I'm speaking of here. So this is really, so Aquarius, you are all about the mind, and you are all about, you know, this is your energy. So what we have here is, if you look at it from this perspective, we have the subconscious mind, which are your thoughts that you have formed from the time you were born until about 6 or 7, and that's heavily imprinted on you. You know, babies are like sponges, they take everything in. So your environment has a huge influence on you, and also the thoughts of the people that are in charge of your care. And so this is the subconscious mind is what we go to when we're really triggered, and usually the advice is actually coming from not yourself, but from the people who raised you, bottom line. So the subconscious mind, as I said, is heavily imprinted on us, but we don't even remember, you know, what was going on when we were a baby and that. So we're relying on other people's thoughts when we use our subconscious mind. And it usually has a pretty profound effect on, you know, how you approach love, how you approach relationships, and money in particular. So the unconscious mind is the soul's needs. And a lot of people will think, oh, I'm a human being with a soul, but you're actually, it's more accurate to say you are a soul that's traveling in a human body. And your soul's needs are just as important as your physical needs. Then we also have the conscious mind. Now that's what you already have a handle on. This is your own life experiences. And so we have when the three of these, the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind, become congruent with each other, we can plug them into our heart's desires, and that's when you're really going after your authentic desires. And I feel like that's what this reading is about, is that wanting to be in a space where you're putting your time, your energy into what your authentic desires are, but on some level maybe, and see this energy here, quite often the fears that we hold are from that subconscious mind. So it's really good energy here. This is talking about, you know, lay those swords down, put the mind to rest, and go inward and meditate or pray, or this is the stained glass window here has the word Pax on it, P-A-X, and that represents peace. So what you're looking for is peace of mind, discipline of the mind, so that you can move out of this energy, confront your fears, and let's see, where do you want to go here, Aquarius? All right, we have the Page of Pentacles coming in now. So the Pentacles represent lifestyle in the third dimensional plane. This energy, it is a coin. Money is a big part of our lifestyle, of course, on 3D. But you could have all the money in the world and you're still not living the lifestyle that you want. And so this is more than just money. And again, it's saying that you have a fresh thought and you've maybe meditated on it, and now you're thinking, hey, maybe I can make some money with this thought. That's a good way to go. I like that energy. It looks like you're going, maybe we'll have another pentacle here. So this is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, she has her sword up in her right hand, which means that she's ready to lop off someone's head if they come into her incorrect. She's got her left hand out, so she is willing to receive, but this energy, not so much. It's kind of like, have you gotten over this fear and stuff before you come and approach me with your idea? Or are you still stuck where you were? Because my head is above the clouds, and I know exactly what I want and what I don't want. And so this energy is saying that you're gaining clarity, and you're ready to let go of this energy. You're letting go of any fears. Maybe you have... your subconscious mind you might have been raised like, oh, you know, money doesn't grow on trees and you have to work hard for money, and really all you need is a really good thought to put into motion is what I'm getting for you. And this is the Queen of Swords is basically, you know, she's been there, she's done that, she's bought the t-shirt, she has the souvenir. She doesn't want to repeat any bullshit. So if you, that's the kind of energy that you're in right now. And then that brings you to the Empress energy. So the Empress is all about manifestation in all forms. Like, she is all four queens rolled into one person. She has all this wheat growing at her feet. You know, she just waves her wand. She knows that nature will take care of it for her. The qualities of the queens are like, for the she's sexy and a natural beauty, and she's very good at creative solutions, which is the Queen of Wands. And then she's the Queen of Pentacles. She's very she can make something out of nothing, very resourceful, prefers quality over quantity, someone stable you can trust. Also, the energy is talking about having a large capacity for love and unconditional love, and having the discernment of this queen. So having learned probably through hard lessons in life that, how to be more discerning of what you want and what you don't want. And so I feel like this is saying, this is maybe the one thing you really need to work on, and you'll be out of this energy, and then you'll be like, I feel like in other areas of your life, you're good. So there's something going on. We're going to find out what it is. We have the Three of Pentacles. So this means like you could be in a period of transition right now. This is saying you're in an elevated position and very good at what you do. You've mastered your skill set, and now people are noticing around you, and people want to collaborate and work with you. Having said that, this card is also like, this quite often represents someone who has a very special skill, like an artist, an actor, an actress, you know, someone who performs in entertainment, a comedian, a singer, someone in a band, that kind of energy. It can an artist, and it's someone in professional sports, like someone that you've perfected that skill set. And there's scouts looking to, you know, have you on their team, and there's producers wanting you to play the lead role in their movie, that kind of energy. But history is full of people that sign contracts that are not good business-wise, and also in alignment with their own personal goals. And so quite often, there's like bad contracts out there where you get breadcrumbed and other people make the money off your hard work. So this is just saying, make sure you're in alignment with anyone that you collaborate with. Quite often because this is someone who's a sculptor who's working on masonry, this is also my secret society card. It's just a warning that there may be hidden elements in the contracts or whatever. Right now we just on the 17th, 3 days ago now, so we're just coming out of that new moon energy. The new moon was in Aquarius, and the opposing sign is across the wheel from Aquarius in the horoscope wheel is Leo. And so Leo has a huge influence. Your opposing sign always does. And the thing is, and it's hitting you more than anyone, Aquarius, because the new moon was in Aquarius, And this energy is about looking after the group's needs is more important, or are you going to look after your own individual needs first? Leo is about being a leader, but Leo's really, the energy is to have like be able to express themselves as like an individual and lead from that perspective. The Aquarian energy is more inclusive of everybody in the group. And so this energy has been playing out in the new moon that we just had on the 17th, and as well on the 1st of February, there was a full moon, and that full moon was in Leo, and you were opposing it, the Aquarian energy. So this has been going on for the first half of the month, the battle between what I need and what I, for myself, and what I need to look after for myself, and what I want to do for others, basically. And so this is saying, be very careful that you're in a very elevated position here. A lot of times when people have a special talent, they don't realize how special it is, and then they undervalue it. So make sure that any contracts you sign are like solid, and have it checked out. Like really get someone who, you know, a lawyer or someone to look after that end of it, so that you have the best deal that you can have. This is talking about identity and self-image. So this is where you have, I'm getting you have this fresh thought. And it's an innovative idea, and that's Aquarius, and you want to implement it. This is talking about your abundance and self-worth. So this is the energy that I'm talking about, is understanding that, hey, right now I need to have a few days here to go inward and be able to really work on this idea. I need to just isolate and just be able to do that as much as I can right now, so that I can get it down on paper and, you know, and meditate on it. And so I can use my intuition as well as my logic to figure out, okay, how can I get this idea? And going, and this is the perfect time for it. We just had on the same day that we had the Aquarian moon, on the 17th, it was also the Chinese New Year. It's the first day of the Chinese New Year in the year of the fiery horse. And that energy makes you want to set really high goals, ambitious goals, and also very free-spirited, like being in that kind of heartfelt, passionate energy about it. Also in matters of love, it's heartfelt and passionate. And then you also have the energy of being careful not to make impulsive choices, like making sure you look over contracts and making sure that you are aware of what your needs and desires are before signing anything, because really looking into that, like going inward and asking, how do I want to live my life right now? If I sign this contract for 5 years, is that how I want, you know, will I be living where I want to live? Will I be living, you know, will I have time for my family? Well, if you have young children and that kind of energy. And so this is communication from your early life, like your communication style, basically. And so this is talking about your communication with money. So there may be some healing that you need to do on that. I mean, you might have been taught that you have to work hard for money, and actually you are better off working smart for money. You know, that kind of energy. And just really going over, where are the weaknesses that I have when it comes to money and manifestation, and going inward and cleaning some of that energy up, facing your fears around it, so that you can move forward out of this boredom. I'm getting this is, you know, that kind of energy, and move forward. And this can also represent like paying attention to your dreams, like in the wee hours of the morning between 2 and 4. We quite often will have, that's when a lot of people get inspiration from the Holy Spirit. And this can be like representing the more Capricorn energy of taking the steps of action consistently and knowing what they are. And sometimes that information will come to us, you know, in the wee hours of the morning through dreams, and also just from waking up and then going to get a glass of water, and then I can't sleep, so I'm going to read something for a bit, and eureka, I have my idea, I know what to do now. That's the kind of energy. So this is the Empress is very creative, and she manifests at a high level. She's actually considered to be pregnant with possibility. And so this is talking about creativity and romance in children. She also can actually be pregnant. So it can be saying that maybe you're looking to have to start a family. And if you're not, be careful because you're very fertile right now in that way. And then this is your health, your daily routines and your habits. So that's what this energy is saying. Be very careful that you, any contracts, anything you sign, that it's going to be in alignment with your lifestyle. Like, how do I want to live? How much time, how many hours, like, what if they want you to work 60 hours a week and you want to only work 40 because you have young children and you want to, be part of their lives, kind of energy. So just making sure of your lifestyle, and any changes that will make when you sign those contracts. This is justice coming in for the external forces. I was just going to say, you can tell that this is internal forces coming from inside of you, and you do have control of those if you go inward and you do the work. The energy, internal forces are when you're asking, what if this happens? What if they do that and I do this? What if that happens then? Or what if that doesn't happen? It's that kind of energy. And so you can get caught up in those what ifs and woulda, shoulda, couldas. Whereas the external forces, and we have justice here. So this card has been coming in a lot, and I feel like that's because of what's playing out on the global scene in the world right now. It's affecting all of us. This energy is, the external forces are when you're laying in bed and you're saying, what the EF happened. So an external force came in, that's what happened. And we're seeing a lot of justice coming in now, like we had the big dump of the Epstein files, and a lot of people are like, there's millions of them. And it's like so much information, and it's like a little bit overwhelming and disturbing, some of it. And so a lot of, I feel like the whole planet is kind of absorbing that. And the energy, a lot of people were quite cynical. Oh, well, justice won't come. But yesterday morning, the former prince from the UK was arrested, and that hasn't happened since the 1600s, like 350 years ago. So this is not like, it was shocking for England, like, for this to happen, and it's having a huge effect on their country and around the world, because it's kind of like, oh, so some of the top people in the world do have to follow the law. And so people are starting to have hope, oh, well, maybe there is going to be justice and the world will be a better place. And that's the kind of energy that we're kind of in like now. This, it's an energy that is sort of, I would say that a lot of people are focused on this right now. Just because, like, if you go online, it's just like constant. It's just, it's all about those files and all the horrendous things that are coming out of them. And now there's some good coming out of it. So justice can just be that. The best revenge is living well. But this can also represent justice coming from the spiritual down to the physical. She has her sword in her right hand, just like the Queen of Swords here. And she's ready to wield justice. Her right foot is forward and peeking out from underneath her robe. So she's ready to get up in a moment's notice. And choof, and the justice sword is double-edged. If you're on, a foolhardy path, then that means like you're on your God-given plan. Then the justice is in your favor. If you're on a foolish path, and you've given into temptation and you're doing things incorrectly, like this is what we're seeing, justice is going to be very swift as well. And so this is a double-edged sword. And so are like all the swords in tarot are double-edged. They can go one way or the other. So this is talking about, the Ten of Wands is talking about putting burdens down that no longer belong to you. And the thing is these wands represent actions, like the action and the element of fire. So these are actions or inactions that these are seeds that you planted, and now they've grown. And this is actually your harvest for, what you planted. Now, some of these could represent actually taking on other people's problems, other people's wands, because they were too weak to carry them, and now you're starting to get really tired from it. So this is talking about the need to put down burdens that no longer belong to you, and let the people who are responsible for whatever the action is. And we can see that the King of England it's his brother, but he said, well, the law has to take its course, because he's not going to jeopardize the entire monarchy for his brother. It's that kind. He's forced to put that burden down and say, well, I can't. There's nothing I can do for him. I have to distance myself from this energy. And so this is the kind of energy that we're seeing here. And it's talking about, like, this person is so close to home. So it's saying, don't give up now. A lot of people give up just before they get where they need to go. Put down the burdens that don't belong to you. And this can also talk about the energy of, like, say 5 years ago you purchased a house and you really enjoyed living in it and everything, but now you don't want to live there, and the market's changed and you can't sell it, like, for what you want to sell it for. It's kind of like now it's an asset, but it's become a burden because it's holding you back in your lifestyle. And that's this kind of energy here. This is actually in the position of your marriage commitments and partnerships. So this is again saying, just be careful that you don't lock yourself into something that becomes a burden down the road, and don't accept other people's burdens and carry their load. Carry your own burdens and and focus on where you're going. And that's the thing. He's so burdened by things that don't belong to him that he can't even see that he's that close to home, and he's almost there. And then we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is the most charismatic, charming of all the kings. He's considered to be the sexiest, the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He is a visionary. He likes to tackle new projects. He's a lot of fun to be around. He's like kind of the life of the party kind of guy, in a good way. Like, he's someone that is passionate about what he's going after, and has a real open mind energy. That one thing that's interesting about this is the element of fire, and all of the face cards in the wands have these salamanders in some form. There's one here, but there's these ones in a circle, and then with the lion energy. And this is talking about protection from fire. And I noticed that this one has a face on it, like there's two eyes here, and there's smoke coming out of the nose and the mouth. And so it could mean he's just a smoking hot guy, or it could be that, where there's smoke, there's fire kind of energy. So the thing about the King of Wands is he is visionary, and he loves to look into the future and tackle new projects and see new things to do, which also can sometimes affect his passionate love life energy. Having a bit of a roving eye kind of energy. So that's the King of Wands energy. And this is a transition that's coming up. Now, so because we have a few figures here, sometimes the Empress can represent all four queens rolled into one, like I said, and this is an energy that you need to work on because it's coming up here. The King, it's also the same energy. This isn't about transition, though. So we don't really have, like, if you put these burdens down, that's your marriage and partnership and your commitments. So there may be some commitments that you need to put down so that you can be in a more free spot to go after projects. Could be that energy. And then keep in mind that these are archetypes. So the energy is, this could actually be a male in their feminine energy and a female in their masculine energy. The Empress and Emperor usually, like, they're, the Emperor is an alpha male, And the Empress is the embodiment of all that's feminine. So quite often they are of the gender that they represent. But the queens and kings can sometimes be the other. All right, so we do have the devil coming in. This energy is talking. I'm just moving this down a little bit because I want to make sure that you can see the whole spread here. I think that should do it. Okay, so this is talking about temptation. The devil is the energy of temptation, basically. And you notice that we have the lovers here. They're yoked, chained to each other, yoked to each other, and they're chained to Saturn's box. And Saturn just moved into the sign of Aries, and I think it's there for about 2.5 years. And so Aries is a very, Aries energy is all about the new, but it's also ruled by Mars. And Mars is quite an aggressive, masculine, kind of energy. And this energy is also ruled by Saturn. So it's kind of like talking about that, this represents like temptation. So these people are more yoked to their lust than they are to actual love of each other. And this is what the devil haunched over this box over them is representing, like that it's more lust than love. It's more like animal instinct, basically, giving into your animal instincts and temptation kind of energy. So when the devil comes up, I always cover him with the next card up, because you're not going to get the truth from the devil. Devil is very manipulative. And so I like to see, okay, what minion did the devil send in, or like did God stop it and cover? So I feel like this is talking about, the star energy is talking about innocence. So it's talking about the devil is, of course, going after innocent behavior, like going after someone who's innocent and pure. That's the energy. So we're seeing a lot of that in the planet right now, like this news coming out. I feel like what this is, with justice being the underlying energy here, that I feel like if you're worried about some mistake that you made and you didn't know the information, like it was like an innocent mistake kind of energy, just get back on, face the fears around that and get back on track. It's about not trying to fix something. Like that's the energy, the new energy coming in. We had Neptune moved into the sign of Mars also. So now Neptune and Saturn are together there. And Neptune was in the sign of Pisces for 14 years. And that energy is more dreamy and it's idealistic and that. But now it's moved for 14 years. It's going to be in the energy of Mars. In the energy of Aries. And so it's a lot more aggressive, and it's like the old ways of doing things are not going to work the same. And that idealism mixed in with the responsibility of Saturn is a double whammy. So a lot of people are feeling that energy, and it's kind of talking about like this Aquarian energy is about, being able to and take what your unique qualities are, and that's like being in an elevated position here for a unique talent, and being able to bring that into the put that into the universal waters, so that you're in a position like you're bringing your own special talent to make the world a better place, the universe a better place. And that's what this is representing here. She's dipping her foot in there, and she's adding her own flavor to the soup of the universe, and then pouring that out onto Earth to manifest in a strong way. And so, of course, the devil goes after talented people, and that we see that all the time in the temptation of that. And so this is just talking, I feel like this is talking both ways. If you're in this energy and you just stay on your destined path and don't give in to temptation, then you're going to be like, the justice is going to work for you. But if you give in to that temptation and you just say, oh, to hell with everybody else, literally, then, you know, the justice, when it comes in, is going to bite you in the butt. That kind of energy. So we have also what the next card coming up is, this is about either having, this person is sitting here and they're looking at their pentacles and they're saying, wow, I worked that hard and this is what I got out of it. Like, it should be more than this. So this can represent the energy of having been duped out of something, or this could be the energy of doing this to someone else, depending. And that's the energy that's coming in. That's overriding right now. What's happening with those files is really affecting the world, because it's so many people are reading them and it's just out there, right? And there's millions of them, so it's a lot of energy. I feel like it's going to slow down a little because also what I wanted to talk about on the new moon and the first day of the fiery horse energy, we also had a solar eclipse. And so eclipses can cause a lot of energy movement, like also like real major changes. Not so much sudden, but things like that really would affect your life, for like life decisions, significant decisions that you're making. And so that energy, we're having another eclipse on March 3rd, and I feel like that one's going to be a lunar eclipse, and that one's in the North Node. And I feel like that's why I feel like right now this energy is saying it's a really good time to go inward, reflect on what you want to have happen. And I feel like moving into March, the energy is going to be way more, like you'll have way more answers. So just avoid making any impulsive decisions right now. It's not a great energy for being impulsive or hot-headed, saying things that you regret later. Getting pissed off and then tweeting all over the place, on social media, and then thinking, oh, why did I do that? That kind of energy. This is, when you know what you know, and conviction beyond a doubt, you want to stand up for it. And so this is someone who's gone to higher ground. But you notice there's a boot on one foot and a shoe in the other. This can represent kind of being caught between I feel like these eclipses. And that's why I just feel like before you make and take any serious action, really take this time to maybe do your research, make sure as much as you can so that you're making really strong decisions. I feel like that will really take you out of this what if loop. And then we have this energy here of also, this is representing battling within yourself, in your mind. And arguing, with yourself, basically. So the subconscious mind, we spoke about. The unconscious mind is your soul's needs, and the conscious mind is what you have a handle on. And so when you quiet the mind and you discipline it by going into meditation, going inward, like praying, being in a situation where you really get in touch with what your heart's authentic desires are, and you discipline your mind, then you will have the freedom that you want to move forward. I feel like that energy is going to be way better with the full moon coming up on the 3rd of March. That second eclipse is going to be maybe adding a little bit of information to the scenario. And so it's talking about you have a really good idea. It's something that, can be really valuable. People are noticing that you're really, good at what you do. And this is talking about, I just feel like it's timing. And it is a really good time right now, just, to do your research so that at the end of the month, you're ready to go, that kind of energy. And we have a retrograde coming in. I think it's the 26th, and for Mercury, and that sometimes can get communication a little bit scrambled, but it's a really good time to reflect on the past and go inward and really understand, who am I and what do I want. It's really important right now that you do that, I feel. for yourself. I'm going to, if you've been enjoying this reading so far, give it a like and comment, and subscribe if you resonate. I'm going to clarify this now with my oracle cards for those of you who want further clarification here. And also, I just wanted to say that if you want more information, I have I have a playlist with the new moon and full moon energy where I did. I just did the readings about a week ago about a week ago, I guess. And for the new moon energy, if you want to know more for your sign. And I also will be doing one for this upcoming full moon energy. And you can check that playlist out. And I also have a playlist with the energy of the fire horse energy, how it affects you, the new energy of the, because in that energy we move from the snake to the horse. So of course that's another big change. And there's some information about the eclipse also in that new moon, full moon. So I'm going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. I started working on this back in 2007. There's some really big dragon paintings. I'm an artist, so I had a lot of fun with it over the years here. I completed all the paintings in 2020, and now I'm ready to, okay, I'm going to get this done. And I'm working on the information that goes with the cards. And so I'm just wanting to make sure I can write the manual up for the oracle correctly. In the description box below, I will put the numbers of the cards as they come up down there in the order that they come up here. And those represent the paintings as they're numbered in my gallery if you want to check it out. It's talesfromthevector.com, TAILS, and I have that information below. So we're going to see now, what is this about? Oh, and it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. Okay, here we go. This is it. We have the star energy coming out to clarify this energy. So again, it's saying this energy here. If you've made a mistake, and it was an innocent mistake, but it's affecting you, and you're kind of stuck or you don't know how to get out of it, I feel that energy is going to change. Justice will come in, especially if you were tricked into doing something by the devil energy, or you got tempted and now you really regret it and you want to get back on your path. That's facing your fears and getting that energy. Then because this is saying being on a foolhardy journey now, that you can anticipate. That you can anticipate the future rather than being in fear of it or worrying about it. Worrying, we all make mistakes, and it's, correcting those mistakes and facing them. And the Temperance is coming in. And so this is having the patience to be on your devoted, whoops, sorry, I knocked the camera here, so it's going to be wobbly for a sec. Temperance is about having the patience to stay on your destined path. Sometimes when you're on your destined path, it seems like things are moving slower, but that's because, the energy is like you're on the right path, but you want to do everything correctly. So in the end, you don't have to redo everything. That's kind of the energy. Quality work as opposed to quantity. You can have both, but you want to have it balanced. This is attachment. So this is a karmic space. If sometimes we can get really attached to an idea and, then find out, it wasn't that great of an idea after all. And it's kind of that, or we get attached to people, we get attached to places, so attachment is like the mother of all the karmic spaces, because once we're attached to something, we're willing, okay, I'm going to abuse my power to keep it. I'm too proud to let it go. My ego won't let me. It's all the different ways that you want to hang on to something. And then you look at it and you think, in the end, man, I wasn't that attached to it. It wasn't worth all that hassle. So this is talking about your attitude is going to really take you to higher ground, basically, so that you understand where the actions that you want to take and why you're taking them. So you can wish upon a star, but you can't just sit there then. You have to pour some energy into that you know, if you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it yet. And that's probably because you're not putting your energy into it. And so this is about having a really good attitude will get you really far. We have the Magician, which is an energetic upgrade, and that energy is coming in saying that, you know, you've learned discernment. And like if you have if you go through something like that you're worried about and you realize, oh, I made a mistake, that means that you actually were working on something that was stretching your limits. And so people who don't make mistakes rarely are stretching their limits. And so, you know, it's a fine line, but I feel like, you know, I feel like this is something that you'll get through. And this energy of, it could be something that happened in your childhood, you know, or earlier in your career or something like that, that you're afraid to make a mistake again. And it's kind of like, oh, let that go. You're a star, you know, let yourself shine. And yes, you're the Aquarius energy, you're coming in and representing yourself here on the Empress card. So you're not only are you a star, but you're an Empress. And so this is talking about being in that energy of having all these qualities and allowing them to come out. And, you know, part of that is just experimenting, you know, and then observe, oh, did that work or not? And if it didn't work, then let it go. And if it did work, then double up on it, that kind of energy. We also have Libra coming in here, and this is about being in a place where you're more mature now. And so you're able to make like your commitments, like this is quite often the card of marriage, because this is representing someone that has done their schooling and that, and you're at a maturity level that you could make a commitment to someone and say, hey, I'll marry you and I'll be with you for the rest of my life, and I will you know, want to raise a family with you. It's being mature enough to be able to do that in a real strong way. When the horoscope signs come in, in my readings, I'm not talking about an individual person. That may be true for you in this reading where, oh no, it's a Libra. But for my purposes, I'm just showing we all have a little bit of each sign in us, and we can learn from the energies when they're at their best. And so that's what Venus energy, Libra is ruled by Venus. It's about love, and it's about being, you know, ready for commitment. And, you know, being able to be mature enough to make that commitment. The Hangman is talking about the balance of, the Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge and upside down until they have the knowledge they need before they take action. And that's what this is talking about here. I feel like a lot of us might feel like, man, it's taken a long time for justice to come. Like the last time that a king was ever arrested, or someone in the monarchy was in England was ever arrested, was 350 years ago. So, you know, a lot of people didn't think it would happen, and here it is. Like they're looking into it. I mean, you know, he's allegedly. You know, he was arrested, but we don't know, as far as I know, there's no charges laid as of yet. But this is talking about anger. So a lot of people can move, it's a karmic space, because if you get angry enough about something, then that can be your driving force. And the problem with anger is it's a gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving. And anger is not the best motivational tool. And then we have destruction. So this is a tactic that can be used by yourself and others where, hey, we're all in it together, except, you know, this energy is talking about secrets coming out, transitions and whatever. So this could be something that happened and you trusted someone, and maybe it didn't turn out that they were as trustworthy as you thought. And then you went into denial and stuck with it for too long. What I don't know won't hurt me. That's the energy that I feel is coming up. But I don't feel like this energy is someone that went out of their way to just be really vindictive. I think it's just immaturity. Falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So this is about the heart chakra and being able to open your heart up again. If you were tricked into losing your money, or you tricked someone else into losing money, that kind of energy is, the justice coming in is double-edged. So it's kind of like, if you made a mistake and you took a loss, and you're really beating yourself up over it like this, it's talking about, the justice is coming in for you, and it will be in your favor. And if you made a mistake in other ways, or if someone intentionally did this, their justice is going to be coming. That's the energy that we're in right now on the planet. We have dissemination of information. Elephant? What elephant? I just did a couple of readings about that, but one of my daily readings was really interesting. It was talking about this. Not wanting to see what the problem is, like everybody just pretending, it's not that big of a deal, but it's an elephant in the living room. So eventually you're going to have to deal with it. And dissemination of information means like scrambling your words so that, you don't really have to look at it. And it's really interesting. We have the devil coming in here again. Interesting. So like this is saying it's spiritual warfare as well. Like this isn't just physical. Like to have this card come in twice, and this is like people that go after the innocent and take advantage of their innocence the justice is going to fall hard right now. This is the kind of energy we're in. And look at this. The card to cover this is the sun. So God is covering the devil here and saying, I don't think so. And this has been happening a lot with my readings. Like the sun represents the happiest card in the deck, and it also represents the energy of God. Like it's happy, and it's God's plan. and I've been a lot of times in my readings lately, the sun is the very last card, or something that, something about God's plan, and that, hey, maybe we can all breathe a sigh of relief. It's interesting. I'm ending this reading right now, and it's 11:11. So that's an energetic portal of manifesting what you're thinking about. So basically, this is for the ending of this reading. With it ending at 11:11 on my clock, I'd say be careful what you're thinking about. Keep your thoughts in the direction you want to go, not on the problems and getting there. And I'm getting that whatever this is, it's resolving. And, all the best to you. Please do give this a like and comment if you've enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel and the energy. I'd be honored if you did so, and I will be back with another reading for you regarding the beginning of March. Bye for now, Aquarius.